Okay, before I get started, today let me explain what I'm going to do. A little video on pruning, but also what we've been doing with the vines here in the vineyard, sort of winter pruning, or the first prune of the winter. This is just a preliminary prune where we leave ourselves plenty of choices for later on when we come through and do a final prune. But what we've also been doing is when we still had growth leaves before leaf drop, we went through and we marked and lopped vines that were dead, non-productive through the season, either crown gall or some other problem that the vine had, but it wasn't doing anything. So we've got new vines on order of the variety that we're of a bunch of varieties, but this particular variety that I'm looking at right now is Merlot, and we've got a bunch of vines on order where we're going to replant these, and also new fields that we plan on filling up with Merlot. So right here, that's a vine we uprooted. It probably had crown gall. We came through with a skid steer, a couple cables on the root rake, and if they were pre-lopped or weren't we'd just go ahead and pull them straight up. He just raised the rake up with the cables attached basically right down here below the graft on the vine, so that the cable would grip it and pull it up on the root. We were successful in 90% of the time. Some of the vines didn't come straight up. They snapped off because they were dry and dead. But most of them came up, as you can see, like this one did, with the roots intact. All right, now what I'm really doing today is I'm pruning. And here's a sample of one that probably only had one good shoot right here on this branch, and two good shoots on this branch. And you want them pencil thick. These are a little, they're pencil thick. Some of them grew so well that they were even thicker than that. And so I gave, we've got one for this year and one for next year. And this one is only one for this year. So that's the one for this year, for the single one for this year, and two for next year on this one. And basically we just prune them off, prune the lower one, the lower branch I'm saving for next year, and the top branch we'll use this year. And this one we'll let it grow, and then it'll have new branches come off of that. That'll have new branches come off of that. It'll be tied down to the cordon wire, which is this wire here, where that's the fruit bearing wire. And these are wires that will hold the growth into the lanes, and what the laterals that come off of those we'll have to trim back so we can get through the lanes. But at any rate, that's pruning. Now here's another one. I left plenty of choices on this one. 1, 2, 3. Probably use these two. May use that one. Here I left 3 on this one. 1, 2, 3. Okay, but most of them I'm going to leave 2 on, like this one, which is just 1, 2, and 1, 2. And the primary you want to leave it high, and the secondary you want to leave it low. Now there are some examples where here there's only 2, with maybe a third right here. But this one we're going to try and save. It's half of it was dead. You see it's black, and that was cut earlier on this half. And this half we're going to try and save it. Usually we mark them with orange paint down below, but if it's dead. Here's one with plenty of choices on it. Here's one I haven't pruned yet, and that one's gone. I don't know. I might have to lop this one off, because this one's broken right through there. I might try and use these. We'll see. This one's dead. So that's coming off. So we'll try, I'll probably, I don't know what we'll do with that one. We might have to come back and pull that one. This one, I've got plenty of choices on this. I'll probably save that, and I'll probably use this one, although it's pretty thick. It's pencil thick, but it's, you know, like pretty thick. You see my fingers. My finger covers it up, but compared to this one, it's a thick. Compared to this one here, it's pretty thick. See the comparison. But yeah, I'll probably use this one and lop it off here. Here, this one's pretty thick. This one's pretty thick. I'll probably lop this off and use these two right here. Probably use these two right here and lop this one off, and then take that out. And so basically what we're doing is we're trying to clear all the dead wood. It's what we call it, the canes, the dead wood out of the wires. Get it cleaned up so that when there's new growth to come along, the vines have plenty of space to grow in, and it's easier for us to work with without all this trash, without all the trash in the wires. Now it's early morning, it's a little dark, first light. I mean, it's dawn, you'd see the sun over there, but that's what we got. Now these are just more vines that we've got. Now the other thing is when we prune a row, we end up with a lot of trash in the row, in the lanes, okay? And what we'll do to clean this up is normally I'll come through here with a zero turn, a 6-foot deck, and hit and just run down here at about 10 miles an hour and clean and mow this whole row. And it takes me minutes to mow a row, and you know, half an hour I can have plenty of this vineyard mowed, and probably in 8 hours I could mow, I don't know how many acres, but I can mow a lot of grass with a zero turn and a 6-foot deck running at about 10 miles an hour. But what we do to clean this up before we mow next spring is we'll come through with a flail mower, which is just on a Vineyard tractor. We have a flail mower that swings hammers, and so it'll pick up this dry wood, this dry dead wood, and break it up and then into small pieces, and we'll just leave it in the lane, and eventually it just decays and is recycled back into the ground as nutrients. Some people use these canes to make baskets with, and they're more than welcome to come out here and get them. But that's another use for dead wood from the vineyard. So, you know, that's basically what I'm doing today. You know, just pruning. It's a lot. This is very labor intensive work right here. I mean, it takes me a good 5 hours to trim one of these rows, and that's just yanking dead wood out, you know, making decisions on where to prune, yanking the dead wood out, and then moving on to the next one. But there's a lot of in these rows here. There were a lot that we pulled out. I guess we pulled probably 10 or 12 rows out of the Merlot here of dead vines, and I don't know how many. It was, you know, a couple hundred vines that are gone that we won't be using next year. But then you know, we'll be replanting and filling those spaces so that in the coming years then we'll have fully productive rows and bumper crop. All right, see you later. Anyways, that's what's going on. See ya. Bye.